Hey guys, it's Amour. Today I'm going to show you how to make this cute Owl Amigurumi. You can find a pattern on my blog for free on amiamour.com. His features include his ears, his beak, he has cute little wings. I made his body first, and he also has his unique ruffles right here. And then I make his mask that goes over it, which I sew down. And he also has cute little feet right here. Alright, what are we waiting for? Let's get started! And here are the materials you'll need. For round 1 with white yarn, you are going to do 6 single crochet stitch into the magic ring. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to close our magic circle. Going to get our stitch marker. I like to use a bobby pin, and we are going to mark the end of our very last round right here. Now for round 2, we are going to do 2 in each stitch all the way around, and you will have 12 single crochet stitches. Okay. So in my very first stitch right here, I'm going to do 1 and 2. In my next stitch, I'm going to do 2 as well, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 9 and 10. Okay, in my very last stitch, I'm going to do 2 stitches here too. And that's 11 and 12. Now for round 3, my pattern is going to be 2, 1, 2, 1. Repeat the pattern all the way around, and you should have 18 single crochet stitches at the end. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 here. That's 1 and 2. And then next stitch, just 1. Okay, we repeat the pattern again, 2 and 1. That's 1 and 2. And then next stitch, just 1. Okay, continue to repeat this pattern all the way around, and you will have 18 single crochet stitches at the end. Now for round 4, my pattern is going to be 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, and repeat the pattern all the way around. So that's 1 and 2, and 1 and 1. Okay, repeat the pattern again, 1 and 2, and 1 and 1. Okay, continue to repeat the pattern all the way around. For rounds 5 through 7, we are just going to do 1 in each stitch all the way around. So at the end, you should have 24 single crochet stitches. So that's 1 in each single crochet stitch all the way around. And I will meet you at the end of round 7. Now this is how it should look like after 7 rounds are completed. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now for round 8, in the front loop only, which is going to be this one right here, just the one loop right here, I am going to do a slip stitch here, and then a half double crochet stitch. So yarn over, enter into the same stitch right here, yarn over, 3 loops, yarn over, come back out through all 3 loops. Okay, and then in the next stitch again right here, only through the front loop, I'm going to do another half double crochet stitch. Okay, so through the 1 loop right here, yarn over, come back out, yarn over, come back out through all 3 loops. And then I'm going to do in the same stitch another slip stitch right here. And then my next stitch right here, front loop only still, I'm going to do another slip stitch. Okay, so my first little ruffle here is completed, but I want to have 3 ruffles all together, so I need to do 2 more. So I'm going to repeat the same pattern 2 more times. So into the front loop only, gonna do a slip stitch, and then a half double crochet stitch into the same stitch. Okay, next stitch, half double crochet, so yarn over and then enter into the front loop, yarn over, come back out, yarn over, come back out through all 3. Same stitch, I'm going to do a slip stitch. Next stitch, front loop, it's just going to be a slip stitch again. Okay, that's my second one. I gotta do 1 more ruffle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch, half double crochet stitch into the same stitch right here. Next stitch, half double crochet stitch. Same stitch, I'm going to do a slip stitch right here. And then stitch right here, I'm going to do a slip stitch again. Okay, so if I look, I see my 3 ruffles right here. And then if I look in the back, I see this ridge, which is the back loop right here. And I will show you what we're going to do with that later. But we're going to continue on. Now for the next 15 stitches, I'm going to do single crochet stitch, but I want to do it through both loops again. So you're going to go through both loops and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and the very last stitch is going to be 15. Now for round 9, we are going to do single crochet stitch all the way around, and you'll have 24 single crochet stitches. But in the first 9 stitches right here, we're just going to go through the back loop only of the previous round. So if we look here, this one is this stitch right here. So our very first stitch is this one right there. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and then the rest of the other stitches. Okay, starting from here, this one right here is going to be just 1 single crochet stitch. So that's going to be 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24 is our very last stitch. and this round is completed. And then we are actually going to do 2 single crochet stitch right here only. That's 1 and 2. And then we are going to move our stitch marker to our very last stitch made. And this will actually mark the end of our round from now on. Now for round 10, we are going to repeat what we did with our ruffles right here. So we are going to do through the front loops for this section. You're going to go do a slip stitch, front loop only. Okay, half double crochet stitch right here. Next stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet stitch, going through the front loop only. Yarn over and come back out, yarn over and come back out through all 3. Do a slip stitch through the same stitch right here. Okay, and we're going to do a slip stitch in the front loop only. And we just did our 1 ruffle right here. And if you look, it should go in between these 2 ruffles right there. Okay, now we have to do 2 more ruffles. So same thing through the front loop only. I'm going to do a slip stitch. Going to do a half double crochet stitch into the same stitch right here. Next stitch, I'm going to do half double crochet stitch and a slip stitch. So half double crochet stitch, and then same stitch, slip stitch. And this stitch right here, just a slip stitch. Okay, that is our second one created. Now I need to do 1 more. Okay, very last ruffle. Going to do a slip stitch, half double crochet stitch right here. Okay, next stitch, I'm going to do a half double crochet stitch and a slip stitch into the same stitch, and then slip stitch right here. Okay, and then if I look, I should have 1, 2, 3 ruffles there as well. And now for the rest of the stitches right here, I'm just going to do single crochet stitch but through both loops as I would do a regular single crochet stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and my last stitch is going to be 15 single crochet stitches right here. Now for round 11, I'm going to go ahead and do single crochet stitch all the way around, but remember in the first 9 single crochet stitch is going to be through the back loop of right here. So I'm going to see where my first stitch is right here, and it's right behind right here. So that's going to be my first stitch here. So that's 1, 2, and that's 3, 4, 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and my next, if I look here, it's coming out here. So now for the rest of the stitches, which is 15 left, it's just going to be through both loops. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a single crochet all the way around. So this is how it should look like so far. And you can see our 3 ruffles here and 3 ruffles down here as well. Now for rounds 12 through 16, we are just going to stay at 24 single crochet stitches and go ahead and do 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch around. So go ahead and work up your stitches and I will meet you at the end of round 16. Okay, after 16 rounds, this is how your owl body should look like so far. Okay, now we are just going to do 12 single crochet stitch for the next part right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then I'm going to move my stitch marker so it marks the end of my round. And the reason I did this, I just wanted to get to the end of this stitch right here. Alright, for round 17, now in the back loop only, I'm going to, this is my pattern, I'm going to do a decrease and then single crochet stitch, repeat the same pattern all the way around, and I will have 18 single crochet stitches. So we're going through the back loop only, which is front loop, this is back loop only here, do a decrease, gonna go to our next stitch, 3 loops, yarn over, come back out, that's a decrease right there, and then we are going to continue in a back loop, 1 single crochet stitch here and a 1 single crochet stitch here. Repeat the pattern again. You're going to do a decrease right here and then a single crochet stitch and a single crochet stitch. Okay, so continue to repeat this pattern all the way around and we should have 18 single crochet stitches at the end. Okay, so at the end, this is how it should look like. It created a ridge right here, and I just like to do that because it makes the owl later stand better when there's like a little ridge right there. Now for round 18, our pattern is going to be a decrease, single crochet stitch, decrease, single crochet stitch, repeat the pattern all the way around, and you'll have 12 single crochet stitches. We're going to go through both loops now. So go ahead and do a decrease, and then a single crochet stitch, repeat the pattern again, a decrease right here. Okay, single crochet stitch, repeat this all the way around, and you'll have 12 single crochet stitches at the end. Okay, now at this point we can go ahead and stuff our owl. So go ahead and get some polyfill and we will stuff our owl. Now for our very last round, we are just going to do slip stitch all the way around, and you should have 6 single crochet stitches at the end. So that's 1, 2, and here is our finished body for our owl. Now we're ready to do our contrasting mask. Rounds 1 through 6 is the same exact pattern for this round here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So go ahead and go back and repeat the heads 1 through 6 and then come back and we'll continue on with the rest of this contrasting mask here. So now for row 7, I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to turn and I'm going to do single crochet stitch in my next 3 stitches. So that's going to be 1 and 2 and 3. Now for row 8, I'm going to chain 1 and turn. This is my chain and my first single crochet stitch, which I'm going to skip. And into this stitch right here, I'm going to do a single crochet stitch. And in my last single crochet stitch here, I'm going to do another single crochet stitch. So I have 2 single crochet stitch. Row 9, I'm going to chain 1 and turn. And I'm going to skip this single crochet stitch, and into this last single crochet stitch I'm going to do another single crochet stitch right here. Okay, so you can see like a triangle beginning to form. And then what I'm going to do is chain 1 and I'm going to turn around one more time. And what I want to do now is to do single crochet border all the way around until I get to the very end right there. So I'm going to do a single crochet stitch across this portion all the way up this triangle right here. Okay, and I'm going to continue to do single crochet stitch all the way around. So go ahead and do single crochet stitches. Okay, and then when I get to the end right here and meet up with this triangle portion right here, I'm going to go ahead and do single crochet stitch up this border here as well. So this is how it looks like so far, my mask. And now I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch up this part of the triangle. So let's go ahead and do a slip stitch up. Okay, now for my next 3 stitches right here, I'm also going to do a slip stitch. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now for row 11, I am going to do 16 single crochet stitches. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, and then now for rows 12 through 17, I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and I'm going to do 16 single crochet stitches back. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that was row 12 completed. So I'm going to repeat this pattern again until I get to row 17. So go ahead and chain 1 and keep doing 16 crochet stitches back and forth until you get to row 17. Okay, so go ahead and work up your stitches. So now this is how it should look like after your 17 row right here. Okay, now we're ready to work on row 18. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do 2 chain, turn, and into our first stitch we are going to go ahead and do 2 half double crochet stitches. So that's 1 and 2. Okay, and in our next 14 we are just going to do single crochet stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and in our very last stitch we're going to do 2 half double crochet stitches. So that's 1 and 2. Okay, now for row 19 we are going to chain 2 and turn, and in our first 2 stitches right here, okay, you're going to ignore the 2 chains here, yarn over, and there I'm going to do a half double crochet stitch in the first, and then the next stitch I'm going to do a half double crochet as well. Okay, and in 14 I'm going to do single crochet stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And in the next stitch I'm going to do a half double crochet stitch, and in my very last stitch right here I'm going to do a half double crochet stitch as well. Okay, and for this one I'm going to cut off a very super long tail, because this is my mask, and then I'm going to have to go ahead and sew it around the body later all the way around. So you want a super long tail. And here is our contrasting mask for our owl completed. Now for the ear, you are going to do 4 single crochet stitch into the magic ring. Okay, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then in round 2 I'm just going to do 2 in each stitch all the way around, and I should have 8 single crochet stitches. So that's 2 here, that's 1 and 2. Okay, next stitch is going to be 3 and 4. Okay, next stitch 5 and 6. Last stitch is going to be 7 and 8. Okay, and now for round 3 our pattern is just going to be 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch around. So I should have 8 single crochet stitches at the end of this round. So go ahead and do 1 in each stitch all the way around, and then that should be my 8th and last stitch right here. Okay, and can go ahead and cut off a long tail and fasten off. And here is my ear completed, and I'll want to go ahead and make 2. Now for the wing, you'll want to repeat rounds 1 through 3 exactly the same as the wing, so go ahead and do that. And then for round 4 for the wing, it is going to be, I'm going to do 2 here, and then in the next 3 just single crochet stitch and repeat the pattern around, and you should have 10 single crochet stitches. Okay, so let me go ahead and put my stitch marker here. So now for round 4, our pattern is going to be 1 and 2. Okay, and then just 1 and 1 and 1. Okay, repeat the pattern again, 2 here, 1 and 2, and then just 1 and 1 and 1. So at the end, we should now have 10 single crochet stitches. Now for round 5, we are going to stay at 10 single crochet stitches. So it's just 1 single crochet stitch in each stitch around. So go ahead and work up your stitches, and when you get to the last one, it should be 10 stitches again. You're gonna cut a long tail and fasten off. And here is our little wing completed, and you want to make 2. For the feet with yellow yarn, you are going to do a slip knot and then chain 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Gonna slip stitch back 3. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and we are going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to slip stitch back 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And slip stitch back 3. That's 1, 2, and 3. Going to fasten. You're going to cut a long tail and fasten off. Okay, and here is our leg completed. You might recognize this from my chick pattern if you've done that one before. Make sure you make 2 feet. For the beak with yellow yarn, we are going to go ahead and make a slip knot. We're going to chain 4. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, in our very first chain right here, I'm going to do a single crochet stitch. And in my next chain, I'm going to do 2 half double crochet stitches. Okay, and here's my second half double crochet stitch. In my very last chain here, I'm going to do a single crochet stitch and then a slip stitch to finish off. Then I'm going to cut off a long tail, and here is our little beak completed. Now we're ready to assemble our Owl Amigurumi. Our finished Owl Amigurumi. He's ready to fly and hang out with all his other little friends. You can find all my free written patterns on my blog amiamour.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you next video. Bye for now.